Hello, my friends. Hello, hello. How are you? Thank you for stopping by and thanks for hanging out. This is the Outstanding Life Show. My name is Jason. I'm just making sure that I've got my comments up. I'm doing this right. Yes. Okay. So we are sending this to both Facebook and to YouTube. And I'm also recording this as well, so I can re-upload the video for a higher quality. All right, my friends, my name is Jason. This is the Outstanding Life Show. Here we talk about recovery, we talk about addiction, we talk about mindfulness, and we talk about overcoming adversity, more importantly. And these are all different challenges. These are all very different. I felt originally that this was something that was a sensitive topic that not a lot of people were engaged in, and I really wasn't sure how to approach it. So what better way to start than to start at the beginning? And I started at the early stages of my recovery. I started at early stages of my addiction when everything felt so new, where everything felt like nothing belonged, and I felt like I was out of place, and I felt there was nothing, I would say nothing of substance, that's not the right word, but like I didn't feel like I was adding any value, and I felt like I was wasting my energy. So when I thought about where to begin, when I thought about what I wanted to do, hey kitty, what I wanted to do, I wanted to, come on. Come here, kitty. When I thought about what I wanted to do or where I wanted to go with the show, I wanted to start with gratitude. I wanted to start from a place of how did I get started in the beginning? And in the beginning, I found it really challenging to be grateful. I really had a hard time finding any, I would say like northern, like your moral compass to face north. I really didn't have a lot of guidance, and I really didn't know where to start. In the beginning, I didn't even have a higher power, to be fully transparent and honest. And when it comes to higher power in the recovery program, in AA, in NA, having a higher power is important. Having a support group is important. Being honest with yourself is important. And these are all pillars that start from literally from scratch. And what that means for you, okay, kidding, take care. What that means for you might be something different than me. So when I didn't have I don't want to call it like a support group, when I didn't have a higher power, I wanted to find what the higher power meant for me. And I wanted to find a way to not just survive. Have you ever been so like, you wanted to survive and you're just white knuckling your way through, and you get by that one weekend, you survive that one day, you survive that one payday, but then your whole life is just a sequence of just like a series of paydays? It sounds silly. It sounds like a reduced way of living, and that's exactly what it was. Like I really wasn't living in the early stages. I really wasn't having a way of finding any, I felt like I was wasting a lot. And it took me a few weeks before I started to find, after going to support group, after going to 4 to 5 different meetings in a day for like 3 weeks, I was able to get to a point where in groups, in support meetings, I don't know if you've ever been to one, if you've ever been to NA or AA, there's always a group of people who gather together and they share, and they're open and honest. And in the beginning, when I'm not being honest with myself, in the beginning where I'm just struggling to barely get through the meeting, to barely get through the day, it's so hard to be, I would say, not fully honest with yourself, but it's hard when you're trying to balance all of the other spinning in your head, all those ideas, I call it my alcoholic mind or my addict brain, where I let that addict brain start making decisions for me. And when I start removing all of these excess things that don't add value, things that are not supporting me or supporting others. It was very challenging to have space for recovery to grow. It was very challenging to what adds value and what doesn't, or which girlfriend, which people in your life are more toxic than good. And that could be your girlfriend, that could be your job, that could be your roommate, that could be your best friend. And in my early recovery, I ended up doing a move because I didn't feel safe in the place I was living. And in my early recovery, I broke, the relationship I was in. It wasn't supporting me, and it wasn't supporting my recovery. And these were hard things and these weren't sudden changes I just made all at once. As I became more deep rooted in my foundation of recovery, I was in a place where I started making, not an action items list, but I was in a place where I started to notice, here are things that were not adding value. Here are things that I want to change. Here are things that I want to improve. If I make a list of things that, let's say I want to make a list of admirable qualities that I want in a partner. Like if I want my ideal wife, there's a video I made like a couple of years ago where it was 20 questions for my wife or something. I can't remember the name of it. And it was like a series of questions about these if I was having a conversation, dear future wife, that's what it was called. If I was having a conversation with my future wife, here's the questions I would want to ask her. And the whole point of that video, the whole point of that exercise is to go through those questions and drill down to the answers of these are the kinds of qualities that I want in a person to be a part of my life. These are qualities that I want to have somebody where we have two contributors who are in a position where they've got themselves in a place where we're able to help lift each other up after we've built ourselves up. Because I don't want it to be just a completely one-sided relationship. So if I'm digging in, if I go back to that, the kinds of qualities of the kind of caliber of a person that I'm looking for, making that list is a very, I would say, difficult list to make. But then as soon as I've finished creating that list, I can start to entertain what kind of a person would I need to become in order to attract that quality of a person into my life. Because if I just keep being who I currently am, and this is me in my early recovery, if I just keep doing what I've always been doing, I'm only going to keep getting the results that I've always ever had. And that's not really going to help me. That's not going to really support my long-term goal of, being a healthy, happy person. That's not going to help bring me to a place of joy, of abundance. And I'm not able to do that in my scarcity mindset. I'm not able to do that from a place where I'm just barely getting by. That's not the kind of life I wanted to live. So when I look at these things of who I want to become or what I want to achieve, if I'm keen to make a list of here's these goals that I'm after, then maybe I need to go and focus on what are the steps I need to become? What do I need to remove from my life to help create space that allow me room to grow into this person? I can't move forward onto the next chapter. I saw this on an Instagram post where if all I'm doing is focusing on the last chapter and I keep rereading it, I won't ever free myself to move on to the next one. So I need to be prepared to dig deep, and I need to be aware that honesty is key. Honesty with myself, honesty with others. I'm gonna need to not be afraid of, I would call it, in the past we've made other topics of other videos where we talk about I was really good before, in the heat of my addiction, before I took on this life of recovery. I was very good at shining a light over on this area. And I was really, really good at shining the light over here and talking over here and doing I'm doing my hand movements. If you're watching the video, where I'm almost a charlatan, where I'm amazing over here at this light area that I'm shining on, but I'm not drawing attention to the dark side where I'm not shining the light. And there's a lot of work that's needing to be done there. And if all I ever do is focus the light on what's really, really good, the darkness area still, there's piles of laundry there. There's cobwebs and spiders, and there's skeletons that are just growing, and they're left, if left unchecked, that'll be the great undoing. So I have to be prepared. I don't want to say just shine the light in there right away, but I have to be prepared that that's a conversation I'm going to have with myself. I'm going to have to identify that those are habits that I need to shift. There will be people in my life. In recovery, we talk about the people, places, and things where I need to be prepared that once I've removed those things that are not serving me and serving others, I'm able to then free myself to move forward in the direction of progress. But I'm not able to do that if I'm constantly being faced with an inner conflict where the idea of who I am holding me back, this ego of a mind where I'm holding myself captive almost, versus the life that I'm truly meant to live, where I'm able to help others, I'm able to help myself, I'm able to attract the caliber and quality of people of you, my community, to be a part of this conversation and join, to attract my future wife, my 20 questions, or maybe it's the career or the friends or the family. Like we are deserving of good things. And yes, recovery and addiction are horrible. I would say they're very stark challenges that are unique to each of us. Be it when I was in treatment, there was somebody that was there for gambling. Another person was there because shopping. There was another one for alcohol, and there's other substances there. People were there for substance abuse as well. So there's a wide range of mental health challenges. And these aren't just things that are, I would say just unspoken, but these are things that, like that shadow and the light, that mental health conversation still needs to happen. That unique moment where we're faced with adversity, when you're peering into that, and you're looking at that mountain of dirty laundry, you're looking at your mountain of your skeletons. Yes, they're there. And yes, that's daunting. And yes, that's a sensitive topic, but it doesn't need to keep growing. Like, I don't need to keep feeding it. I don't need to pay homage to it. And just because I've been carrying it around with me for 10, 15, 20 years, however long it's been, it doesn't mean I need to carry it on any further. I can say this is enough. I can say, my friend Walter, he's amazing, he's hilarious. He would say, Jason, the hardest thing about being an adult is knowing when enough's enough. I've never seen a much more truer statement as I reach this age of adulthood. After I've adopted recovery and addiction as a part of my daily life, I've started to appreciate that there are certain things that I've heard in my life. There's certain stories, lessons I've heard of, but they've never made sense until now, until there was like this event crisis point. And for me, that was my recovery. That was my addiction. That was my aha moment. And that can come from early stages. That can come late stage. That can come, I don't know. Again, that journey is unique for each of us, but I don't know if this is something you can relate to or if this is something that you've identified with. I really hope so, because these are conversations that I often think of, and that was the whole point of this show, was to start this conversation about mental health, about adversity and some of these challenges that we face, and that we too can have and live an outstanding life. We too can, I would say, set an example, but we can help create a safe place around that conversation and contribute and lift each other up along the way. I don't know if this is something that makes sense to you, but I really hope it does. Okay, I'm going to go check out the comments here. Oh, look, we have Sean. Hey, Sean. Thanks for hanging out. Thanks for being a part of the conversation, Sean. That's really awesome. I am sending this to both Facebook and YouTube, and I'm also doing something fun where I'm recording the audio. I'm taking the audio version of this and I'm publishing it to a podcast. I also have a service that transcribes it, and then I take the words from the transcription and I put it up on a blog post. So just in case you are somebody that enjoys watching, like Sean, or if you're somebody that likes listening, we have the Outstanding Life podcast, and that's over on Spotify, on Apple Podcasts, or if you're an Android person, you could search Google Podcasts, and all of those are there. So wherever you have podcasts, you can check out Outstanding Life, or if you're over on YouTube, we have the YouTube channel where we've got all these videos, and there's quite an evolution of videos there. I was talking with my friend Kaylis and we were chatting about Kaylis was like, you've made a lot of videos. I was like, you know what? I don't even remember how many, but there's like 2 or 3 years worth of videos. This has been going on. This Outstanding Life has started and it really hasn't kicked off. I would say about 2018-ish, around that time. And it's really blossomed since then. I got the motor going and I was like, you know what? I don't really know what it's going to do, but I'm going to have fun along the way. I'm just going to start sharing and I'm going to enjoy the process. I'm going to make mistakes. Things are going to go wrong. But you know what? It's all learning. It's all fun. It's all going to be exciting. It's going to be worth it. So thank you, Sean, for hanging out. I do have a link over on the screen if you're watching. I've got sobriety.live/now. Actually, I'll go to the page here. And if you go to sobriety.live/now, it brings you to a page. And that's what this page is here. And here are the different ways. Remember we talked about the audio or the video? Oh, let me take this off. We have the link to the podcast. We've got the videos. Hey, Kitty. I think it's dinner time for Kitty. We've got the YouTube video link. And then here's the link to the blog posts. And these are just the transcriptions from the videos. So if you're somebody that likes watching, go ahead and watch. Or if you want to enjoy calm.com, there's a link to... I'm allowed to give out 5 free 30-day guest passes. So if you click on the link, you can get 30 days of calm.com. It's just a generic link. It's not like I'm getting anything out of it at all. But oh yeah, here's the video. Dear future wife. These were the morning meditation series that I did. Oh man, that was a fun video. I've had fun this whole process. I really enjoyed this. Oh, one last thing I want to chat about before we move on is... This was really pumped. I was super excited about this. I'm going to zoom in. So we did a birthday fundraiser and we have more than hit our goal. My friends, my community, you guys are awesome. We had 275 out of 250. We've blown it out of the park. So this birthday fundraiser, it's still going on. We got a week left, but we hit the mark a week in. This is great. The money is going to the treatment center that I went to, and that's the Simon House program here in Calgary. So these guys are awesome, and we've got some wonderful messages here from some of the supporters. We have Carla. Thank you, Carla. And then Alina, Matthew, he donated. So thank you, Matthew. And Reggie. Thank you, Reggie. I've sent messages to each of them. Vanessa. Oh man, Vanessa. She is super supportive. She's an amazing, positive mindset. I highly encourage you to check out some of Vanessa's work. She's over on Instagram and she's also got the YouTubes. Carla, thank you, Carla. And then Erica, that's amazing. You guys just blow me out of the water. And Dawn, one of my oldest friends, Dawn. Thank you to everybody. Alina, Alicia. Man, Alicia and I, we used to work at McDonald's together 15 bazillion years ago. Anyways, friends, I wanted to give you an update. I put the link to the birthday fundraiser. Don't feel obligated to contribute. This is just something I'm having fun with, and the treatment center was really helpful in my development. So I thought this is a great chance for me to give back. So if donating is something you're into, definitely go and check it out. Or if you're interested in getting 30 days of calm.com or consuming any of the other content, go check out the link on the screen, and that's the sobriety.live/now. And there's a couple ways to, in case you need to send a message or have a question, or if you want free Coursera courses. Those guys are giving away, what is it? There's like a mental health, not certificate, but like the science of mental health, and there's the science of well-being. Those are amazing courses. I'm in the middle of doing one. Again, these are free mental health courses available until March. So there's a link to the Coursera courses. So just in case you're not able to donate, don't worry about donating. I would much rather have you go check out these 30 days of calm.com or check out the Coursera courses. These are huge, huge, huge. I'm getting a lot of benefit out of them, and I hope you might too. In the meantime, friends, thank you for stopping by. Thanks for hanging out. Thank you for being a part of my community. Thank you, Sean, for dropping by and saying hello. That is all sorts of awesome. In the meantime, friends, you take care, you have fun, and then I'll see you in another video. All right, bye-bye.